Everyone has the ability to be confident. No one is just born with confidence. It is learned through our lives. We eventually get trust for ourselves, we build our self-esteem, trust in our capabilities, and then we know that we will be okay. Life will lead us to where we need to be. We just flow with everything. There's people that can just walk into a room. All eyes are just on them immediately. They immediately just walk to a group of people and start a conversation. You have no idea if they've seen these people before in their lives or if they're friends, but they walk up with their back straight. They have their eyes on the people that they're talking to. They're using their hands when they're talking. You're like, wow. I wish I could be more like that. I wish I could be confident in myself. There you are, twiddling your fingers. Your heart is racing when you're starting a new conversation with other people because you're so anxious and nervous and how the other person perceives you because you put their opinion on you higher than your own because their perception of you is apparently more important than how you view yourself. And these people, they have no impact on our lives whatsoever. We never see them on a day-to-day basis. They're not even close to us. They're not even one of our close friends. We so badly want them to validate us and have only good things to say about us. Because then when we walk away, we're just like, okay, I hope we left a good impression on them. I hope we did good today. No. We are not doing that. We're going to build your confidence so high that no one can break it. When people say stuff behind your back, you don't even care what they say because it's not your business. You were not in that conversation, so it does not concern you. Though they were talking about you, it doesn't matter what they were saying because we do not want this just go in your head and then you just start doubting yourself. And even if you hear people say like, oh, I heard so-and-so say this about you, it should not even concern you. You shouldn't even give it attention. Just completely disregard it. For example, very recently actually, I ran into someone that I knew, okay? And the first thing they say to me is like, oh, we were just talking about you. My first reaction to that was, oh, okay. And it doesn't matter what they were saying. They could have said XYZ. They could have said how I was so great. They could have said how I was a terrible person. But it does not affect my day-to-day life. I do not see these people on a regular basis. They could have said anything. But if it does not elevate me, it is behind me. It is below me, okay? The same goes for if people even say good things about you. That's great and everything. The compliments are great. Everyone wants compliments. But if you don't receive a compliment and people say bad things about you, it should not affect you. How you talk to yourself, the words you use to describe yourself on a day-to-day basis, that matters more than how other people perceive you. Confidence is all about having faith in yourself, confident in your abilities, trust that you will achieve things in life, trust that you will carry out things when you tell yourself that you will carry out things. You will make promises to yourself. You'll do anything to achieve those things because you made that promise to yourself that, okay, I set this goal for myself, I will achieve it. It doesn't matter how long it takes, you will achieve it. There was this quote that says, most people overestimate what they can achieve in a year and underestimate what they can achieve in 10 years. And that is so true. It does not matter how long something takes. If you put effort into it every single day, you will eventually achieve it. And you don't care about the timeline, you know it will be done. Being confident, it feels magical, it feels great, but it is just how you carry yourself in society, how you carry yourself every day. Being confident is just imagine that you are talking to your best friend, talking to your family members, people that you are close with, just in general, how you act around them and you feel whole within yourself. You're not like over-analyzing every word that you say. You're not over-analyzing what this person is saying to you. You're not thinking about the best response to come up with it. You're just being yourself and authentically you, okay? That is confidence. You are talking to them openly. You are being yourself. You're not acting like someone else. You are acting like yourself. Carry yourself how you would want to carry yourself in front of the people that you know so well. You carry yourself the same way when you meet new people. For example, when I meet new people now, when it's in a very professional setting, I make sure that I keep my eye contact towards them. I'm walking with a straight posture, using my hands when I'm talking to them, and I address myself. You say hello, and this is my full name. And they put you in such a high regard now. They're like, oh, this is this person, this is their full name. They remembered my full name as well, and they will tend to remember your name because when you remember other people's names or when you remember details about them, that is what makes you more recognizable and more unique and special. And as I was saying before, because you cannot rely on external validation, you need to replace your negative thoughts with positive ones. Have positive mantras or positive affirmations that you say to yourself. Of course, you don't need to rely on them, but I was using this a lot when I was building confidence for myself because I was really struggling with this. And I would say like, I'm amazing, I am great, I am magnificent. For example, when things go wrong, say to yourself, I did the best with the knowledge I had at that time. When someone leaves your life, tell yourself that I can find someone better. I'm not saying that to say that about someone that you like love dearly. We're not being heartless here, no. Say this when it's reasonable. You are what you tell yourself. If you tell yourself, oh, I'm ugly, I look fat today, I'm not very funny, I'm not very intelligent, I'm not very bubbly, you will be all those things that you tell yourself. Yes, you may not physically appear those ways, but the things that you tell yourself about your personality, your characteristics, your traits, you will embody those traits and characteristics that you said about yourself. And you will act like a person that is insecure with themselves. And you do not want to be an insecure person, because an insecure person will project their insecurities on other people all the time. And I used to be friends with these people when they would say, like, you're kind of like this, or you kind of look like this. Excuse me? You want to have confidence so high that if someone says you were like this, you're in your head, you can honestly say, yes, I am kind of like this for these reasonings and I can learn from this. Or no, I'm not saying this and they're just projecting their insecurities on me. No, when they're actually saying positive criticism, something you can take out of it and learn from it, or when they're just projecting their own insecurities. Because if someone doesn't think they're beautiful, they will project that onto someone else. And I've seen this time and time and time again. Oh my gosh. And these people, they try to act like they're better than others because they want to be better than others, because they do not see themselves worthy or high enough value that they will pull someone else down so they can feel above them. No, 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 no. We are not doing that here. You are the same as everyone else. You're on the same level as everyone else. No one is better than anyone else, and no one is worse than anyone else. Affirmations you can say to yourself: I love myself. I am a magnet for success. I trust myself and my intuition. I trust my traits and capabilities. Such small things, and you can search anything up online and say to yourself on the daily. Look at yourself in the mirror and say these things to yourself. When you're walking in public and you feel very nervous, say, I'm confident, I'm great, I'm amazing. Look at people when they're walking past you and hold the eye contact. Obviously, don't stare at them like a maniac, but just like hold eye contact with them, look at the person, be aware of your surroundings, and when you're more aware of your surroundings, you will be more self-aware. Get out of your comfort zone and do things alone by yourself. For example, the times that I gain confidence for myself so much is when I start to do things by myself. And when you do these things by yourself, you become more independent because you don't tend to rely on other people. And this is so important because when people tend to get into relationships, they lose this trait. They depend on the other person so much, so heavily, that they lose their own identity because they expect the other person to be responsible for their own feelings, for financial stability, for them to give them validation and reassurance constantly. No, you cannot rely on someone so heavily that you lose yourself. That is not okay. Obviously, when you're in a relationship with someone for long enough, you will tend to rely on each other. That makes sense. You've known each other for a very long time. Maybe you moved into a house. Maybe you have kids. Whatever that is, you will tend to rely on the other person will tend to rely on you. Yes, I agree with that. But you cannot put your whole identity into this other person, spend time with them 24/7, you lose your hobbies and things you genuinely enjoy, that when you go out in public, you don't even know who you are anymore. You're not happy without this person in your life. Be so happy by yourself, and then you'll be able to be happy with someone else. You cannot be insecure and sad and then expect that someone magical and majestic will just come your way and fill this void for you, because that's not how life works. You will attract what you give out. And especially when you pull yourself out of difficult situations, this is probably one of the best things that can happen to you. And people even said, this difficult situation was the best thing that ever happened to me, because they have that reassurance in their mind that, like, okay, if I can get out of this, I can do anything, I can achieve anything in life. And that is so true. For all the terrible experiences that happened to me, that has made me the person that I am today. And I know that I can achieve anything. I can help myself through any circumstance. And I know that if I am in a really tricky position, if I'm really tied up with all these obligations in life, I know that I can achieve it and I can get through it. Yes, I may stress. Yes, I may worry, but I know that I will get through it. And they know that if they could get out of that situation, they can do anything that they set their mind to, because your mind is extremely powerful. And like I said with the self-affirmations thing, if you act like a person that is confident with all the characteristics, like I said before, with body language, you will become that person as well. And a common thing that people like to embody now is fake it till you make it. And this is very true. Obviously, don't heavily rely on this and become self-absorbed and whatever. We are using it for the point of You want to become confident, so act like you are a confident person and say these things out loud, right? And this goes along with manifestation. If you just act like you have a lot of money, or you say you have a lot of money, or say that you're very successful, you will achieve great things in life. Sure enough, this will happen to you. If you say, I'm academically smart, you will become academically smart because you speak it into existence. And I heard this quote very recently. Some people call it delusional, I call it manifestation. Like I said, it shouldn't come from compliments that people give you. It's a mindset. Your confidence shouldn't come from physical appearance at all. For example, very recently, I was having this conversation with this other person, and they were telling me how they weren't confident because of their physical appearance. And I was trying to reassure them, say something like this: I am so and so, I'm beautiful, I'm amazing, I'm smart, and I'm confident. Say that about yourself. And this other person that I was talking to could not even say those things about yourself. And their response to this was like, oh, that's easy for you to say because you have something to back that up. And that made me so sad. This person could not even back themselves up, even when I was trying to help them, make them feel better about themselves. And yes, this person may not be confident because they put their opinion of confidence so much on their physical appearance. Yes, I do agree. But do not rely on your physical appearance. Yes, I do agree. When I put effort in how I look, I dress nicely, I put mascara on, I have my nails done, I look good, I feel great, right? That's when I feel confident because I put effort in how I look, but also I work on my inner soul. I educate myself, I read books, I journal, I go on walks, I make sure I talk to a lot of people, and I listen to attentively to what they have to say to see if I can grab any knowledge out of this conversation. Because I use every experience in my life as a learning experience so I become more intelligent, more smart, and more knowledgeable. So when I talk to other people, I can bring these in conversation. But about to what I was saying before about this other person, because they put their definition of confidence in how they physically look, they will not be confident because confidence comes from your trust within yourself. If this person carries out with tasks that they set themselves to do and they do that every single day, they will sure enough be confident because they know that they can believe in themselves. And another quote that I heard about this, which is so true to what I was just saying: if somebody can build you up, they can as sure as hell break you down. And that is so true. Because if you attach yourself to your physical looks, you will easily be chewed up by the world. You will hang on to the opinions of others. And you do not want to be there because you will spiral in how other people view you. And this is the same if you were in a talking stage with someone else. Like, oh, I hope they like me. No. Do you even like yourself in the first place? Because if you liked yourself in the first place, you wouldn't be worrying if this other person likes you or not. I'm so happy to be by myself every single day because I have hobbies. I have things that I look forward to. I educate myself. I fill in my schedule. I don't have time to think about this other person constantly. The energy that you put towards this other person, that holds them in a higher regard in your mind. Yes, they could actually be a great person. But like I said before, you cannot hold your whole identity and personality into this other person. Have your own hobbies, things that interest you and make you feel alive. There is no, I hope they like me. I hope you like yourself at this point. Oh my goody greatness. Like I was saying before about you being an insecure person or whatever and projecting onto other people. Because if you hang around people that are insecure, they will project this onto you, right? It will seep into your subconscious mind and you will start to bring this out to your day-to-day lives. Obviously, we do not want this for yourself. Hang around people that are confident. My best friend, for example, super confident. She acts like she's confident, okay? She's a really nice walk, okay? And she just exerts confidence. All eyes are on her. And when I saw like, oh wow, I really want to have such a great stride when I walk, I started trying that and I'm like, wow, I feel great. I feel so confident because now when I walk into a room, I have my head held up high. I know where I am. I know that I am where I'm meant to be. If you have an invitation to this place, you have a purpose to be there, okay? Do not doubt yourself like, oh, like, am I sure that I'm even supposed to be here? They would not even ask you to be there if you weren't supposed to be there in the first place. Stop doubting yourself. Be around positive people because negative people will always drag you down and will leave you behind so they can try to build themselves up. Hang around with people that have what you want so then you know it's possible for you to achieve those things, or if they have characteristics that you want, know that you can embody these characteristics too. For example, I was also talking to someone that was saying that they started hanging out with people that were really good at chess, okay? and he wanted to be good at chess. So he started hanging around with them. They taught him tricks, and then he eventually became good at chess. Obviously, because he was hanging around people that had what he wanted, and then he became that person that had that trait of being good at chess. And for myself, for example, I wanted to be really good at school. And how I did this was hang around people that were also very good at school or wanted to be good at school. I started to study with them. I started to develop their study habits. And then because I started to develop these study habits, I eventually became better at school. Thus, I became more academically intelligent. I became smarter when it came to school. I became school smart. So bad. Such a bad joke. You will not be everyone's type. You will not be everyone's cup of tea. Like, oh, I hope they like me. If they don't like you, they don't like you. If they like you, they like you. And that's great. Okay? You will find someone that likes you. You will find someone that has the same feelings towards you as you have towards them. Okay? Stop trying to force a connection that isn't there. Maybe there is a connection there, but the whole point is if they leave, you will be fine. Okay? And if you want this person to like you so badly, you may not even be what they want in a partner. And that is okay. If you're trying to mold yourself into a person that you are not naturally alike, you will repel this person away from you so fast, okay? The people that are most magnetic are people that are authentically themselves, are proud to be who they are, and do not let anyone hold them back. The people that just put on a front, and you can just you feel that it's not very real, you feel that it's disingenuine, you don't feel like it's right, not very flowing. It's very repelling. And if you're trying to embody a personality or a trait that just doesn't come naturally to you, it doesn't work like that. Embrace who you are and live life. And if you are trying to embody an identity that you assume that the other person would want in a partner, or this person that you're talking to may actually be like, okay, well, I've seen a lot of people with this sort of personality. It doesn't really interest me anymore. Although people like familiarity, okay, people might also be attracted to something that they're not really alike to. Some of my closest friends are the people I'm complete opposites of. Because opposites can attract, right? But also people that have similar personalities can attract too. Just be yourself, because they may actually be more attracted to this than the front that you're trying to put on for yourself. Because it's a complete facade. It's not even real. How are you going to try to keep up this personality for the rest of your life? Focus on yourself and only yourself. If you want something in life, people focus on the how way too much. It should be 90% your mentality and 10% of you putting action. And a lot of people disagree with this. But for example, with me, I act like I have all these things in my life, and eventually I do attract those things because I speak it into existence. I say I have this, I have this, I have this, I have this, and eventually it all comes full circle and I attract those things. Whether good or whether bad, what you say really does matter. I'm still doing the work, but acting like I have what I want. If you do this with any goal that you have in mind, let's say you want to become really good at skateboarding. You start practicing every single day like a person that is good at skateboarding, okay? Or just visualize it. They did this study where people were thinking about being good at piano, okay? One group was just thinking that they were good at piano and they were just imagining themselves playing all the keys on the keyboard, and the other group was just practicing every single day, okay? At the end of the experiment, the results showed that both groups had the same level of competence of playing the piano or having the feeling of playing the piano, because the one group actually practiced and the other group had the mentality of a person that was good at piano. Because of this, even though one group did not even practice it at all, they had the mindset of the person that was good at it. Have a mindset like that with anything that you want to achieve and put action into it, and that's manifestation, okay? Manifestation is 90% mindset and 10% of you putting action into it. Disagree with it, don't agree with it, I do not care. If you put effort in how you look, you will feel your best. For example, my friend, she puts makeup on every single day, even if she doesn't leave the house. She feels her best because she puts effort in how she looks. I do not like it when people say oh, you shouldn't care how other people view you, so just don't put effort in how you look. Don't put makeup on. Don't put a good outfit on. No, if I want to look good, I will look good for myself. I do not care how other people perceive me. Because if I know that I look fine, I look great, I do not care what other people think about me. It does not matter. Of course, it's good to leave a good impression on people if you need to have the approval on moving up in a business. But that does not mean you should disregard yourself for the comfortability of others. Wear outfits that you feel confident in. Get rid of the clothes that don't make you feel good. Eat well. Have a good diet. Make sure you eat foods that you know that will make your body feel good and make you feel the most energized. Eating lots of vegetables and fruits, having good foods, making sure you have an exercise where it makes you feel good. You don't necessarily need to look the best at the time. Of course, you'll eventually have the physical benefits, but you want to make your mind feel the best so you can act the best when you're out in public. We want you to have a good self-care routine. Make sure you wash your face. Allow yourself to have a bubble bath. Read books that you enjoy. Allow yourself to indulge into an activity that you enjoy. So then you can get into the flow state and you feel good. Go on a walk. Actually look at the sun for a while, okay? It's nice to actually go in nature and experience the world, okay? In order to act the best, make sure you feed that within yourself and feed yourself good things that you actually enjoy. And that means feed yourself with good foods. Put effort in how you look. Because if you look good, you will feel good. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any recommendations on how I can better improve my content to better suit your needs, or if you've got any recommendations for future content ideas you'd like to see in the future, that is also greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. I hope you have a lovely day or a lovely night. If it's 12 a.m., please go to bed. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. So bye!